Hey guys, Nick here from Nick's Taxes. Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while, but today we're going to cover a lot of things regarding the CERB and the CRB. We're going to do kind of like a news update here to give you an overview of what's going on in the world of Canadian COVID benefits. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I make videos on personal tax, finance, and investing. We're talking a lot about the Canada Recovery benefits lately, so if that's of interest and of value to you, please consider subscribing. I've also been quiet with these videos because I'm working on some new things coming up. I know we've talked about looking at investing in crypto and doing some more investment kind of videos. So we got those in the making, so stay tuned for those. Also tonight, we got the Avalanche game coming up. I got the Avalanche going to the Cup final. Let me know in the comments below who you think is winning the Stanley Cup. My favorite team is Colorado, so I got them going all the way. I really don't think there's a team better than them right now. So for today's news topics regarding the CERB and the CRB, doing a little bit of both here. So there was a new report from the National Post saying that the federal government spent over $9 million worth of COVID relief funding to dead people. We also have the NDP. They are urging Justin Trudeau and his government to take away that CRB cut for struggling Canadians. As you know, the CRB is expected to drop in the dollar amount given, but the NDP is pushing so that there isn't that cut come July. Also, about 30,000 self-employed people may not have to repay the CERB. If you remember, we were looking at self-employed CERB eligibility, and we just got a release saying that 30,000 may not have to repay it. And also, if you did repay it, some information on how you can get your money back starting right now. We're also looking at back on the CERB from Stats Canada that CERB recipients were more likely to be low income, female, and rationalized. But there was also another article that came out that said higher earners were the biggest beneficiaries of pandemic aid in 2020. So this is going to be your news update. We're going to get into detail now. As always, please give this video a thumbs up. Just shows that you get value out of this video, helps my channel grow. Really appreciate that. But let's get right into the content of the video, starting with the first news topic. The federal government spent $9 million worth of COVID relief funding to dead people. How does that happen? Seems like a waste of resources. Absolutely. What happened was in June 2020, the government announced these special one-time payments of $600 to Canadians with disabilities, and that was meant to help defray the costs of the COVID-19 pandemic, obviously. All in total, 1.7 million Canadians, both living and dead, received the funding under this program. Why did dead people receive this funding? Well, the money was paid out to those who had valid 2020 disability tax credit certificates and were eligible as of July 1st, 2020 for various other disability programs. So for example, the Veterans Affairs Canada or the Canada Pension Plan Disability. So if you were on that and you were in that time frame but you passed away, you still got that one-time payout, which it looks like $9 million worth of these payouts went to people or their estates, and they don't have to pay it back. So that was the other thing. The estates of those who received the money won't need to pay it back. They're giving it to the estate. So that's the first news regarding the CERB. We'll stay on the CERB. If you remember, a while back, there was this whole issue regarding the CERB eligibility, and they were looking at net income versus gross income for those who were self-employed. There was some ambiguous wording in the eligibility criteria. People were applying thinking it was $5,000 gross income to qualify, where Canada originally wanted $5,000 net. So there was about 30,000 people in that category who, met the $5,000 gross, but not the $5,000 net, and applied. Originally, the idea was they would have to repay that amount back, but Canada has now officially said that repayment does not need to happen. They can keep that money. And if you have already repaid it, if you were ahead of the curve, as of today, you can go back and apply to get that money back. And I will provide the links in the comments below. So if that's you, you can go back and apply for this CERB amount that you actually now qualified for. So back on May 27th, if you want some more details, the CRA shared some additional information related to the eligibility for the refund and the process to actually claim that. Granted, you still have to meet all other eligibility criteria, and you'll have to make sure that you qualify for everything else in order to get that refund back if you made that repayment. So who's eligible? Self-employed Canadians whose net income was less than $5,000 and who applied for the CERB. They no longer have to repay the benefit, but they must have filed their 2019 and 2020 income tax returns by December 31st, 2022, and have met all other CERB eligibility requirements at the time that they applied for the CERB. Additionally, their gross self-employment income must have been $5,000 or more in 2019 or in the 12 months prior to their original CERB application. How do I get that reimbursement back? If you voluntarily repaid part or all of the CERB to the CRA, you can go in and request a refund. All reimbursements will be processed by the CRA via the application for self-employed individuals, which can be submitted either electronically or by mail. The agency is set to begin processing refund applications after June 15th, 2021, and those who are eligible for money back can expect reimbursements within approximately 90 days of submitting their application to the CRA. Also regarding CERB, going back in time, we said that CERB recipients were more likely to be from low-income female or rationalized people, according to Stats Canada. What Stats Canada did was they looked at who received the CERB, their ages, their sex, their industry breakdown, and just found out that more women were applying for the CERB. Industries in harder hit areas were obviously applying for the CERB more, and the low wage workers, 55.3% of those people in low wage jobs received CERB payments after their total hours of work dropped by over 45%. So again, if you're interested on looking at the statistics of the CERB, I'll provide that link in the comments below. There was also an article from the Financial Post saying that actually higher earners were the biggest beneficiaries of the pandemic aid, saying the bottom 20% of earners just got 14% of the $95.2 billion in government funding. Lastly, to conclude this video, the NDP is urging the Liberal government to not cut the Canada Recovery Benefit down from the $500 per week to what they were proposing, the $300 come July, because that's a 40% cut. The NDPs are saying that the Liberals cannot justify cutting the amount of money people receive through CRB while big companies continue to collect money for wage subsidies. The NDP say that Canadians deserve a government that has their best interest at heart and is there to help them when they need it. Obviously, we're seeing provinces like Alberta have plans to go back to being fully reopened or back to normal. And so hopefully in the very near future, that is the case and we won't need CRB anymore. But for those provinces or for those people that are still in industries that are hurting, it's definitely nice to have that full CRB available. But obviously there's this whole tension between cutting the program and also helping people through this time of need, but also transitioning out of this time of need and into our back to normal recovery phase. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This was today's Canada Emergency Response Benefit update and our Canada Recovery Benefit update. Again, if you got value out of this video, just ask that you give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you are new here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Nick from Nick's Taxes. Happy taxing.